Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Altriki and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ileti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
In the news tonight, Financial Intelligence Unit cracks down on real estate agents. No rain forecast expected to worsen. And FNU responds to petition.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Fiji Intelligence Unit is currently investigating several cases where real estate properties have been purchased through criminal proceeds. FBC News has been informed that 2 real estate properties are subject to investigation, while another was restrained and forfeited to the state under the Proceeds of Crime Act. These transactions of massive values could unveil a number of other illegal deals taking place in the country. Pranita Prakash with the details.
Fiji Intelligence Unit Director Razim Baksh has confirmed the value of these transactions runs into millions of dollars.
We are investigating a property transaction that involves several $7 million, which is located in the west, that has criminal proceeds suspected to be proceeds from drug trafficking, and the refunds were channeled from offshore bank accounts into Fiji, and property was purchased using criminal proceeds.
Real estate agents have been reminded to work within the ambits of the law.
It's very important that all the real estate agents understand their roles and obligations to ensure that their clients are properly identified, their source of funds are identified, and where there are possibilities of dodgy clients, where both buyers and sellers must be flagged to the Financial Intelligence Unit, and we are able to thoroughly investigate these clients and customers.
The Fiji Police Force has also confirmed receiving 18 complaints in relation to bogus real estate agents over the last 6 years.
So far we have taken 3 cases to court, and the cases are still pending in court. Offences are mostly they were operating without a real estate agent's license, and they have obtained financial advantages from their clients.
Meanwhile, during the real estate conference for agents and salesperson in Pacific Harbour this morning, Industry Minister Fayyaz Koya reminded industry players to ensure the industry is clean of unscrupulous dealers. There are currently 84 registered real estate agents with more than 200 salespersons in the country. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The country is in the midst of a meteorological drought, and this is forecast to continue through September and October. Fiji Met Services Director Ravin Kumar says with the forecast of little to less than average rainfall, those living in the worst affected areas of the Western and Northern Division need to use water wisely. Maggie Boyle reports.
In some areas, there's been no rain consecutively up to 10 weeks.
Especially like Yangara has received no rain for almost 70 to 75 consecutive days. Similarly, Ba, about 40 to 50 consecutive days with no rain. And in Tavua, about 65 consecutive days with no rain.
While June through to August is our driest months, the little to no rain forecast is expected to worsen already dehydrated conditions.
Looking at that, the rainfall deficiencies that we are looking at, there has been accumulated, and we are sort of moving into meteorological drought situation, and this meteorological drought situation may extend into September and October.
The director is urging Fijians to use water sparingly.
Given that the prediction of rainfall for the month of August, September and October is average to below average, therefore people should be using water wisely, conserve them.
Meanwhile, the Water Authority of Fiji are expected to hold a press conference tomorrow on the arid weather conditions. The National Disaster Management Office is monitoring the situation before deciding on the next steps. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Fiji National University Vice-Chancellor Nigel Healy maintains the FNU Student Association is transparent and there's nothing to investigate. His comments come after student rep Elisapedi Tunamena presented a petition to the Attorney General yesterday alleging misuse of funds by the FNUSA President Ketan Lal. Healy claims all is in order and says he is not sure what the fuss is all about as they had dealt with the matter already. Anna Ravulo reports.
The FNU Vice-Chancellor says everything has been accounted for and all issues were addressed with student rep Elisapedi Tunamena on March 12.
I have seen the audited accounts and they were found to be in good order. Those accounts were presented at the FNUSA AGM, at which the student who's making the complaint was present.
However, Tunamena claims nothing has been presented to them and has called on FICAC to investigate the matter.
If the President won't give us the financial report, we'll come to FICAC. So our proposal here is FICAC can come to investigate on all our finances.
Nigel Healy says they have not seen the petition and has already dealt with the issue raised by Tunamena, a third-year law student.
It's chaired by the registrar, at which the student was present with the FNUSA President and Treasurer. All of those matters that she raised were discussed at length in the meeting.
Attempts to contact Tunamena to respond to the FNU Vice-Chancellor's comments have been futile, while FNU Students Association President Ketan Lal is yet to reply to our questions. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Attorney General Ayo Said Qayyum and Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem have rubbished the comments that they are related, which influences electoral decisions. Amongst those who have claimed this includes Fiji Labour Party leader Mahendra Chaudhry. It's alleged that Chaudhry, during a panel discussion with other political party leaders in Suva earlier this month, said the 2018 general election will not be a fair one due to the AG's relation with Saneem. Kelly Vavala reports.
As Minister for Elections, Ayo Said Qayyum has clarified that he has no family relations with the Supervisor of Elections, Mohammed Saneem, and has hit out at those who are using such false information in election campaigning.
Mahendra Chaudhry apparently has claimed that Saneem is my relative. Just because his name is Saneem Mohammed, it does not mean he's related to me. And he's from Vano Levu and I'm from Viti Levu. And, you know, again, it would appear that perhaps Mahendra Chaudhry thinks that all Muslims are related. We are not.
Saneem says it's sad to see that the FLP leader has resorted to personal attacks and says Chaudhry has lost the plot.
If you measure the statements and the facts issued by Mr. Chaudhry in the last couple of days, you will already find that he has lost all credibility in terms of things that he has said about the last election. I'm from Wailamu Tiri Lambasa, and I have no relationship in terms of family relations to the Attorney General.
And this is coming from a man who is a former Prime Minister of Fiji. But he does not give him the liberty to be able to make these kind of allegations.
The AG says such falsified comments is only designed to create ill will in society and unwanted tension on the electoral system. He adds that making such wild allegation is not in the public's interest and is riddled with falsified claims. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
Still to come, PCN denies claims of abuse of funds. And more revelations in money laundering trial. Details after the break.
Bula, neva ngomal kay leloma, ngongay nakas ondo magrong ng Bula FM, namban dua ay nasere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya ondo talita ina warong ng Bula FM, namban dua ay nasere.
Buya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, namban dua ay nasere.
Naivango fane na tao niongo singa toka kita ndo talita ka ng Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Bula FM number 2 na sere.
The People's Community Network has denied claims of abuse of funds and clarified there are no financial issues as they wait for extra funding approval from the government. Claims have been made that the PCN had run out of funds to complete the second phase of the Langi Langi housing project. However, PCN Director Semiti Galawasa clarified with FBC News that everything has been accounted for. Ali Kimbia with more.
Project delay and unforeseen circumstances has forced the People's Community Network to ask for extra funding from the government.
talking to the minister, and I'm sure that they will come in with that 800,000 because the need is there. It's not that the money was abused.
Semitingalo says all the funds have been utilized in a transparent manner and all reports have been submitted to the local government ministry.
So it was delayed for 7 years, but still the cost was still the same. So when we completed the phase 2, PCN and the ministry realized that we still have 800,000 to complete the 40 units.
Meanwhile, local government permanent secretary Joshua Wycliffe earlier told FBC News that extra funds will be released to PCN after an internal audit is carried out.
Our response to this is that the government has had a request tabled by PCN in terms of the disbursement for the amount, 800,000 that they're requesting to be able to complete. However, the government will be able to look at it based on the processes that we have. We have requested for an internal audit.
The PCN hopes the government will approve their request and facilitate the need for proper housing to be delivered to all Fijians. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The second witness in the alleged money laundering trial of 2 former finance officers of the Pacific Theological College in Nasese took the stand today. Finance Director Nilesh Sharma told the Suva High Court that accused Roshin Raj and Rene Sorby made changes to the checks that were deposited and cashed. Catherine Krishna was in court and filed this report.
Roshin Raj and Ryan Sorby made payments of up to $1,000 each to their bank accounts on a weekly basis without anyone's knowledge. They are charged with 3 counts of money laundering. It's alleged that between June 1, 2006 and November 30, 2012, the two, while employed as finance officers at the college, laundered around $582,000. The second witness, Nilesh Sharma, told the court the college had finalized the 2008 financial report after an audit, but could not complete the 2009 financial report as some documents were missing. He said requests were made to the two accused to provide documents, finish all the paperwork and submit it to the auditors. He said the school principal was notified when they discovered unauthorized payments made to the accused person's bank accounts. This resulted in their suspension. Raj and Sorby later admitted in an interview with the school principal that they had made payments to their personal accounts. Roshin Raj, in her interview, also revealed she had been involved in this unscrupulous act since 1998. The trial continues tomorrow. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
The Friendship Plaza on McGregor Road, Suva, is running $10 to $20 million over their budget. Vice General Manager WG International Real Estate Company Fiji Limited, William Wu, says they have so far injected over 64 million Fijian dollars into this project. Meanwhile, Bailey's Manager Director Philip Toogood has confirmed they will no longer engage in the marketing and sales of the building. The 30-story building features Fiji's biggest warm water swimming pool, premium apartments and a luxury hotel. 10 journalists from Fiji and 8 from Papua New Guinea have returned from a week-long visit of the Guangdong province in the People's Republic of China. The visit, organised by the Chinese Foreign Affairs Office, was aimed to promote exchange and cooperation between the Chinese and Fijian media. Ritika Pratap was part of the delegation.
Guangdong, China's oldest and the most populous province, is located on the South China Sea coast. After travelling for almost 17 hours, the first visit was to the iconic Canton Tower. The province is excelling in terms of innovation. The team saw the results firsthand when visiting the Agriculture Sciences Experimental Station and the Provincial Fishery Conservation Centre, among other places.
Compared to where we come from, our countries are very small, still developing and still have a long way to go. But now that we've visited these countries, it's given us a different view on how things are.
It has been an eye-opener for me coming to China, and I see that there's a lot of things that we can learn from here for the Fijian, for people in Fiji.
It's our 4th day in China, and after a splendid tour of the Guangzhou city, we are in Shenzhen City. It's China's youngest city. It's said to be about 40 years old. Our first stop is the High Telecommunications Company Limited. Let's check out what's inside.
See how China is growing in the last 40 years. The economy is booming.
fisheries and agriculture. They've shown us new ways that we can hopefully take back to Fiji.
In just 6 days, the officials from the Chinese Foreign Affairs Office took the 18-member Fiji and PNG media delegation from the east bank of the Pearl River Delta to the west bank of the region, which included 3 cities, Guangzhou, Shenzhen and Zhuhai. The memorable of all was the trip to the 52-kilometer Hong Kong, Macau and Zhuhai bridge, which is set to open later this year. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
In sports later with Jamie, RKS All Boys ready for Suva Rugby Union's Koroturanga Shield semi-final against Police White. But up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break, Education Ministry moves towards paperless transactions. And in growing Fiji, Vanuandina village drainage problems to be solved soon. Stay with us.
Voila, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In business tonight, the Education Ministry has partnered with the ANZ Bank to have more electronic transactions in place after it was discovered that the ministry makes payments by cheque. Minister responsible, IR Said Kiyim, says the transactive banking agreement will bring about a huge culture change for the ministry. Kritika Kumar reports this is another move towards a cashless economy.
The Education Ministry is moving away from cheque payments and moving towards electronic transactions known as ANZ Transactive.
So you cannot have such a large ministry with high levels of volume of transactions on a daily basis. Looking at something like 150 transactions per day. The Ministry of Education actually engages with.
Ayah Said Kayum says this will save time spent waiting in long queues in the banks, as well as provide a well-organized cash management for internet optimization.
There are some students who actually travel, by those minibuses and RSL plates in the deep rural areas. So they are paid through checks. So we can now, of course, transfer funds electronically into their accounts too. So these are the areas that we are looking at.
ANZ Fiji country head says Fiji is moving towards digital era and Fijians need to be innovative.
And I think we are moving into digital times in where the transaction is no longer be the thing of past in terms of writing the checks and going through the processes and all that stuff.
Education PS Alison Burchell adds this agreement will greatly assist in improving the ministry's service delivery. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the money world.
Let's have a quick look at the Forex market today. Asian stocks rose this morning as Wall Street hits record high. This was in the hope that current trade negotiations may lead to a further easing of global trade tensions. Meanwhile, second quarter economic growth for the US was a bit stronger than expected. It's the best performance in nearly 4 years. GDP increased at a 4.2% annualized rate, putting the economy on track to hit the goal of 3% annual growth. Closer to home, Australia's capital expenditure unexpectedly declined in the second quarter by 2.5%, while New Zealand's business confidence reading dipped to 50.3 in August. And that's all the latest from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Taking a look at the foreign exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. The Fiji dollar keeps on showing mixed results this week. Today our dollar was up against the Chinese yuan, the Australian and New Zealand dollars, as well as the PNG kina and the Japanese yen. As for the commodities market, after having a decline yesterday, it was the opposite today. The price of oil rose to close at $69.63 an ounce. Rather, a barrel. Gold closed at $1,205 an ounce, and silver ended the day at $14.70 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, the villagers of Vanuandina in Tailevu have been facing drainage problems for over a decade, and the Australian government has stepped in to relieve their woes. The Australian High Commissioner to Fiji says they're in talks with the village committee to see how they can be assisted.
The Australian government has shown its commitment to assist 37 homes prone to flooding in Vanuandina village.
This is all part of our small grant scheme, so we administer a pool of money at the High Commission, and local communities can apply for grants of between $10,000 to $40,000 to do these sorts of things.
Assistant Village Headman Semoni Rokosuka says a team from the Central Division Drainage Board had tried to remedy the problem a few years ago.
Because there's a very bad smell and the water can't go out. And what we feel in the future before we clean up this thing, the bad smell, everything is still on now. But what we want now is we can come back again and make the drain clear.
Waterways Ministry Director Operation Mahendra Kumar says they've now responsible for all drainage work around the country. Vanuandina village outside Nosori town is prone to flooding during high tide or a heavy downpour. Savira Tambua, FBC News.
And that's business for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. Fiji football women's team qualified to OFC Nations Cup. And Neroni Maui ready for NRC clash against the Rising. This and more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Vodafone Fiji football women's team has created history to qualify for the OFC Nations Cup in New Caledonia in November. The Marika Rondu coach side topped the round-robin tournament with 7 points, beating American Samoa 2-0 in their final qualifying match this afternoon. Vasnil Prasad reports.
Fiji football women's striker Trina Davis has been making headlines in the OFC Nations Cup qualifiers in Lautoka. The US-based striker displayed top skills to score Fiji's first goal in their final match against American Samoa.
I'm super proud. I'm super happy because now my mom and my sister both get to come with my dad, and I'm super happy for that. It's really a dream come true seeing Fiji come this far.
The Manasau then added the second goal in the last quarter of the first spell. Captain Sonali Rao says the mission has been accomplished.
We are really happy that we've qualified after so many months of hard work. So yeah, I and my girls, so we are really glad that we made it through.
Coach Marika Rondu praised his team's performance, adding this is just the beginning.
Important for us to make a good pathway for women's football in Fiji. I think for the past how many years we've been putting a lot of effort to really develop women's football seriously in this country.
Fiji is pooled with New Zealand, Cook Islands and Tonga in the OFC Nations Cup, which will be held from November 18th to December 1st in New Caledonia. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Benfica football side booked their place in the group stage of the Champions League with a 4-1 win over PAOK Salonika. Here are the goals from the match.
It's something they've worked on, and it's worked out for them. Deep again from Tizzy. Oh, fantastic header. To play with Servi and Grimaldo, and this is Franco Servi. Wonderful end-to-end. Salvio to make it 4.
Netherlands PSV also progressed to the next stage after defeating Bate Borisov 3-0 in the second leg of the UEFA Champions League playoff. PSV found the net twice in the first half and sealed the deal with a third in the second spell.
The man with the throw. It's a good touch and a good finish as well. PSV strike first. Hendricks. It's De Jong. 2-0. The defender found himself stranded and Lozano scores quite brilliantly.
The Fiji Airways Ndrua believe it has enough talent to secure a win against a well-prepared Melbourne Rising in the Australian National Rugby Championships opener this weekend. Assistant coach Brad Harris says the Fijian internationals in the Ndrua should bring an added advantage to the team. Meli Tavanga reports.
Challenging the Melbourne Rising will not be a mountain too high for the Fijian Ndrua.
The guys from the Rising, the majority of them have played Super Rugby from the Rebels, but that's a fantastic challenge for our guys. The guys that are the capped flying Fijians, they're used to playing at that level when they play international rugby. The guys that are coming out of the provincial game here in Fiji.
The Seri Rusi Serubakula court side is aware of the 3 Fijians who will be playing against them on Saturday, but they are keeping the focus on the task on hand.
If we come out, play our game, stick to our systems, take our opportunities when they come, I think, you know, we're fairly confident we can get a good result.
Forward Eroni Mowi says they're excited about playing on home turf, but at the same time it comes with a lot of responsibility.
There's going to be a lot of pressure, especially on the home grounds. Fijians, they always want to win.
Fijian Ndrua hosts Melbourne Rising at 3 p.m. at Nosoris Ratu Dakombo Park in 2 days' time. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
The NRC has been launched in Sydney with 8 rugby clubs from Australia and Fiji to battle for top honours from this weekend. The tournament is expected to be more competitive this season with the inclusion of the Western Force and a Fijian Ndrua side going into its second season. Tivita Nambura's try was not enough for Counties Manukau as they lost to Seta Tamanivalu and Manasa Mataele's Taranaki by 26-19. Taranaki fullback Boden Waka had a stellar performance with 21 points in the match. The Ratu Kandavulevu School All Boys team are ready to take on the Police Whites in the semi-finals of the Suva Rugby Union Koroturanga Cup this weekend. Despite thrashing the Namukeilao rugby team 44-13 in their quarter-final match last weekend, the Ndelaina Kaikai OBs have opted for the underdog tag going into the semi-final. John Tombori with the details.
It has been a united effort for the Ratu Kandavulevu All Boys as they prepare for a grueling match.
We are a very young team, we are underdogs, and we believe that this week with the assistance of coach, our management, our president, we've been able to prepare well.
The morale is high in the squad and forward Tevita Dokana Singer says they rate their opponents highly.
This is a team with a lot of resources. They have everything and we rate them highly, but we plead to them as well, do not write us off.
Team manager Aisia Tuamoto says it'll take more than a game plan to defeat their opponent.
I think it's about respect. You have to respect your opponent and the unity amongst the boys for the past few games. I think it will motivate them further.
The RKS All Boys will challenge the Police Whites at the Buckhurst Park at 12:30 on Saturday. John Sabore, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Catch Angie later on with weather and check out one of Time Magazine's favorite places to visit. That's coming up.
Obama nakas dorong-rong na kape na radio Fijuan nando mo
ayaw benyana dito barong na radio Fijuan nando mo bisi hinga toka
nguelo ilaisa hinga toka rong-rong na hermakawa ina radio Fijuan hinga toka
Radio Fijuan nando mo viti.
In tonight's new media with displays that can fold and flex, what does the future have in store for phones? It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Such a fantastic day with such stunning sunshine and windy conditions. Keep warm as it will be a cold night. In other good news, we are only a day from the fabulous weekend. Moving on to the western side, it's been a sunny day with scattered clouds. Eastwards from Pekhava to Suva, also sunny with light evening showers predicted. And up north, after a few light drizzles, it turned out to be fine. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 8:48 p.m. with low tide at 2:37 a.m. Sunrise at 6:15. For tomorrow, yes to the Jolly Good Friday, and much more exciting news is that the weather will be quite stable. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will rise up to the high 20s. And looking further on to Saturday, clear sunny skies is what I see for now, and hopefully it stays that way. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, would you welcome the tap and go system once it's introduced?
In my opinion, if they are going to introduce something like that, they need to have effective safeguards to ensure that the public doesn't feel like they're being ripped off.
Yes, with the tap and go system, I really believe it will be good for us. Since I've been picked and run by few boys 3 times, and that'll be a good thing because I don't have to carry cash.
I think card system is much better because tap and go is not much secure here in Fiji, you know.
It will be a success. That it is okay to have the cards here in Fiji because we don't have cash with us every day. So if there is in case of an emergency, it really would come in handy.
Yes, I would welcome it. It is a good development for the country as a whole. Not only that, we will not be carrying cash.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, Financial Intelligence Unit cracks down on real estate agents. No rain forecast expected to worsen. And FNU responds to petition. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, should there be more counsellors and facilities set up for Fijians battling depression? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by El Nemani, spotted at Visongo Community Hall in Namuka, Maduata, with the caption, "Your call has been placed in our priority queue and will be answered shortly." That is, after this hen lays eggs. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से। जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।